everyone. Today I'll show you how to draw, not paint, this mouth. This is watercolor I painted last summer, and I thought you might like to see how I can create it using just pencils. I did a similar video of an eye drawing, and I'll link to that below. First I'll show you the main features to look for when you're drawing a mouth, and then I'll speed draw a realistic version. So here we go. When you were a kid, you probably drew a mouth like this, or this, or maybe you got sophisticated and added some teeth. Here's how I draw a basic mouth. I start with a sort of flat line between the lips, then I draw a smaller version of that line above it. I connect the corners with curved lines, and that makes a top lip. The bottom lip is thicker, and I draw it with a curved line. I'll shade it in based on these guidelines. The ones on the bottom are sort of like parentheses. Here's my reference photo, and that's my mouth there. And here's the watercolor I painted last summer. So let's draw a black and white version. I'm using a light 4H pencil to outline the main areas. First I want to draw the area between the lips. This shape reminds me of half of a leaf. It helps me to break tough shapes down like this. Then, as you can see, I'm drawing a big mouth. In most of my portraits, the mouths are nowhere near this size, so I'll be able to pack in lots of details. I like to establish where the middle of the top lip is, and then I'll outline any little sparkles or highlights. I almost forgot the two teeth. And from here on out, the video is going to speed up. This is an ebony pencil, which is about as dark as you can get without being charcoal. And now with a number 2B pencil, I'm going to fill in the top and bottom lip with a light gray. Notice the direction I'm shading, in a slightly curved up and down motion that mimics the lip's wrinkles. It wouldn't make sense to shade left to right or at a diagonal. I'm also shading around the highlights and keeping them white. By the way, I'm not resting my hand on the drawing. I'm trying to hover it over the top so I don't smudge things. Normally, I put a piece of scrap paper between me and the drawing, but I want you to see everything I'm doing here. This is a blending stump, and I'm using it to smooth those areas together. I really like the consistent gray a blending stump can produce. These stumps are basically rolled up pieces of paper, and they are really cheap, but you could also use a cotton swab. So while the lips are looking smoother, you can still see some darker lines here and there, and those lines just naturally suggest wrinkles. I scribbled some ebony pencil on my first piece of paper, and I've dipped my blending stump in it to help me shade the teeth a bit. Now I'm really getting in there with some dark shading. I'm not nuts about this paper. It's from a 1991 sketch pad I had laying around, and I felt like I had to press down extra hard to get the kind of blacks I wanted. Maybe it was the pencil. I was using a new one, or maybe it was me. Whatever it was, I felt like I was working harder than I needed to on this part. Everybody's lips are different, of course, and I always look for unique wrinkle shapes when I draw them. Where is the light coming from? With this mouth, the light's coming from the right, so there are more sparkles on the right side, and the left side has more shadows. It's also a 3/4 view of the lips. You can see more of the left side than the right side. So as you can see, every time I go over the lips, I do some follow-up smudging with the blending stump. I'm using a cotton ball to block in some skin surrounding the mouth, and I'm defining a few areas with my ebony pencil and the blending stump. Next, I'm going to go around the lips yet again with the ebony and 2B pencils. Now I'm just fine-tuning the shadows. Once I darkened the left sides of both lips, I finally started to feel happy about this drawing. And here's the finished mouth. Thanks for watching.